Please remain standing and join Shaddai Soledam, Master of Music, Voice Degree candidate, and Professor Michael Leckrone and the University's School of Music Band in singing our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight on the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming in the rockies the bobs bursting in it proved through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, see the star-spangled banner it waved for the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Thank you, Shaddai. That was beautiful. And thank you, Professor Leckrone. Please be seated. I'm Sarah Mangelsdorf, Provost and Vice Chancellor for Academic Affairs here at the University of Wisconsin-Madison. It is my very great pleasure to welcome you to our 2018 Winter Commencement Ceremony. As Provost here at UW-Madison, I work with the deans and directors of all the schools and colleges to ensure that we are offering academic programs and an overall educational experience that is second to none. Our faculty pride themselves on our deep commitment to undergraduate, graduate, and professional education. And I'm very proud of the hard work and effort put forth by each and every faculty and staff member here on our campus. Graduates, I hope that during your time on campus, you have been introduced to and have embraced the Wisconsin idea. This is the notion that the boundaries of the university are the boundaries of the state, and it encompasses the belief that the university should reach out, serve the citizens of the state, and beyond. If we have done it right, you are the embodiment of the Wisconsin idea. You will take what you have learned here and demonstrate to the world the value of a Wisconsin education. As you use your education, as you serve others, the world will be better because of your time here. At this time, it's my pleasure to introduce you the members of our official party. I'm going to ask each of them to stand up when their name is called and remain standing. And I'll ask the audience to please hold your applause until all members of the party have been introduced. Rebecca Blank, Chancellor. Our keynote speaker, Alan H. Bud Selig. Our student speaker, Jaime Dawson. Carl Schultz, Dean of the College of Letters and Sciences. Robert Golden, Dean of the School of Medicine and Public Health. Catherine Vanden Bosch, Dean of the College of Agriculture and Life Sciences. Ian Robertson, Dean of the College of Engineering. Linda Scott, Dean of the School of Nursing. Steve Swanson, Dean of the School of Pharmacy. Carl Martin, Dean of Extension. Jeffrey Russell, Vice Provost of Lifelong Learning and Dean of the Division of Continuing Studies. Argyle Wade, Interim Dean of Students. Sarah Shute, Chief Alumni Officer and Director of the Wisconsin Alumni Association. Regina Milner, UW System Board of Regents. William Karpis, Dean of the Graduate School. Margaret Raymond, Dean of the Law School. Barry Gerhardt, Interim Dean of the School of Business. Diana Hess, Dean of the School of Education. Soyen Shim, Dean of the School of Human Ecology. Mark Markell, Dean of the School of Veterinary Medicine. Charles Hoslett, Vice Chancellor for University Relations. Raymond Tafora, Vice Chancellor for Legal Affairs. Lauren Heller, Vice Chancellor for Finance and Administration. Norman Drinkwater, Interim Vice Chancellor for Research and Graduate Education. Lori Reeser, Vice Chancellor for Student Affairs. Patrick Sims, Deputy Vice Chancellor for Diversity and Inclusion, Vice Provost and Chief Diversity Officer. Guido Podesta, Vice Provost and Dean of the International Division. Paul Robbins, Director of the Nelson Institute for Environmental Studies. John Ballachino, Director of the Division of the Arts. Scott Ovchadik, University Registrar. Steve Smith, Secretary of the Faculty. Richard Amasino, Chair of the University Committee, the Executive Committee of our Faculty Senate, and also the Carlos O. Miller Professor of Biochemistry. Please join me in welcoming these distinguished individuals. I would now like to introduce Rebecca Blank, Chancellor of the University of Wisconsin-Madison. Last summer, Chancellor Blank celebrated her 5th anniversary of leading our great university. She is an internationally respected economist who has also spent time in both the economy, in the academy and in Washington, D.C., working in 3 different administrations. Most recently, she was Deputy Secretary and Acting Secretary of the U.S. Department of Commerce under President Obama, prior to her selection to lead this university in 2013. Chancellor Blank received her undergraduate degree in economics from the University of Minnesota and holds a doctoral degree in economics from MIT. She has served on the faculty at Princeton, Northwestern, and the University of Michigan, where she also served as the Dean of the Gerald Ford School of Public Policy. As Chancellor, she has committed herself to maintaining the university's position as one of the world's top centers for discovery and research, and educating students to compete in a global economy, and helping University of Wisconsin experts to share knowledge and innovation with the state, the nation, and the world. Please welcome Chancellor Rebecca Blank.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Winter 2018 Commencement of the University of Wisconsin in Madison. Congratulations to all of the new graduates, and a special welcome to all family and friends. I also want to welcome and thank our guest speaker. Many of you know Bud Selig as the longtime commissioner of Major League Baseball. What you may not know is he is also an alum, and for the last 3 years, a teacher in our history department. So while his official title is Commissioner Emeritus, here at UW, we simply call him Professor Selig, and I want to thank him for being here. Today, we are conferring more than 3,000 degrees upon our undergraduate, graduate, and professional school students. About half of our graduates are here in person. Many of the others are going to participate in spring commencement. Now, December graduates are an interesting group. Some of you took a little more time to reach this milestone, and some of you took a little less time. And some of you have overcome some enormous obstacles to get here. Chance Cork is one of those people. Chance grew up in Sauk Prairie. He spent some of his childhood homeless, living in a car, and then in foster care. He overcame a learning disability to get to Madison College and then transferred to the University of Wisconsin. Chance is the winner of our Outstanding Undergraduate Returning Adult Student Award, and he hopes to start a nonprofit to help other foster kids find their way to college. He graduates today with a degree in material science and engineering, and his sister, his fiancée, and his foster family, the Quams, are here with him. So to Chance and his family, and the 100 other returning adult students in the class of 2018 who've worked tirelessly to achieve this college degree, congratulations. As we celebrate today, I want to ask each of you to do something. Take a moment to look around at who's with you here. All of you, see who's behind you, see who's next to you, see who's in front of you. Today, we're all part of something that's all too rare in this country, indeed on this planet. A peaceful and joyful gathering of people of every race, of every religion, people from Beijing, China, San Francisco, California, and Green Bay, Wisconsin, and every point in between, and people on every rung of the economic ladder. But today, we're one big Badger family. That's what a public university can do. Our doors are wide open to Wisconsin and to the world. Now, graduates, you've spent a lot of your time here absorbing knowledge, and now you get to put that knowledge into practice. To do that well takes skills that we can't always teach in the classroom. Decision-making, the ability to collaborate and compromise, compassion, curiosity, kindness, those are the components of wisdom. Becoming wise is a lifelong practice of refining your knowledge through many different kinds of experiences. There's a myth that wisdom comes with age. It arrives one day like the headphones you ordered from Amazon. But in fact, it's entirely possible to live a very long life without becoming wise. You can probably think of a few people who are examples of that. The truth is, wisdom can be learned if you're intentional about it. And I want to give you 3 pieces of advice for becoming wiser. First, focus on communicating well. A few minutes ago, I had you all look around the room. One of the most important experiences you've had here was interacting with people from all backgrounds and perspectives. It's easy to collaborate with people who think and look and sound just like you. The challenge is working with people who are not like you. Social science suggests groups of people from different backgrounds generate far better solutions to problems than homogeneous groups, if they can communicate. Oh, thank you. I picked up a cold. Too many celebrations going on in the last week. But I don't want to sound too optimistic. There are some chasms that can't be crossed. Wisconsinites will never understand why Minnesotans love the Vikings, and we are trying to get you out of here close to noon for that game. Our students from China will never understand why Americans put cream cheese in sushi, and some of our students from the East and West Coast will never understand the appeal of a deep-fried cheese curd on a cold Wisconsin night. We may never agree on everything, but each of us has a responsibility to put our knowledge into practice, and that means communicating effectively with the people around us, whoever they are, wherever they come from. Second, closely related, listen to others. I don't know how many of you have had Babcock ice cream lately. I know it's been a long semester. Many of you may have heard the story of Professor Stephen Babcock's most famous invention, a butterfat test that transformed the dairy industry. But you might not know that that was initially a dud. Farmers had no idea why they would need a new piece of equipment. Babcock realized his mistake, however. He'd invented something brilliant, but he hadn't talked to any of the users. So he shifted his focus to visiting farms, listening and learning, and marketing his device. It took knowledge to invent the Babcock butterfat test, but it took listening to get the wisdom to tell people why they needed to use it. Third, when you face challenges and painful moments, learn from them. Michelle Obama once said, "Your experience facing and overcoming adversity is one of your biggest advantages." When Conlon Ross came to UW, he'd recently lost 2 loved ones to suicide. He felt compelled to do something, but he didn't know what. So he gathered ideas, and that was the start of the Bandana Project. The project gives students a lime green bandana to tie onto their backpack to show support for people with mental illness. There are 3,700 students and staff participating here at UW. So Colin, congratulations, and thank you for making the campus a better place. It's not always easy to view difficult and painful experiences as opportunities, but I hope you will remember those are often the places where wisdom begins. Families, thank you for the love, support, and advice that you've given your students over the years. And thank you for sharing these wonderful people with us. Students, thank you for making the university a better place while you were here. Keep in touch. Let us know how you're doing. And I can't wait to learn what you accomplish in the years ahead. Do remember to come back occasionally and visit. You will always be part of the university, and I hope we will always be part of you. Congratulations to everyone, and on Wisconsin.
You can see how committed your chancellor is, that she came to give that speech feeling the way she does. So kudos to you, Becky. Now it's my honor to introduce Regina Milner, a member and past president of the University of Wisconsin Board of Regents. Regina is a 2-time UW alumna who earned both a law degree and a master's degree in real estate and urban land economics from UW-Madison. Her academic achievements are all the more extraordinary because she came to us as a non-traditional student, returning to school as a single mother of 3 children. Since she graduated, Regina has continued to be very involved with UW-Madison. She served as president of the Wisconsin Alumni Association and on our athletic board as a community member. She brings a level of passion and energy to everything she does. Her willingness to listen and learn have marked her service on the Board of Regents. She will be leaving the board this coming spring, and thus this is her last commencement as a regent. She will be missed. I'm honored to present Regent Regina Milner.
Good morning, and thank you, Provost Mangelsdorf. On this special occasion, and on behalf of my Regent colleagues and UW System President Ray Cross, I offer each one of you my sincere congratulations. Today is a very important accomplishment. It's the culmination of years of hard work, long hours of studying, and so many sacrifices made by you and those who care for you. Bravo. Let me also extend a special welcome to the families and friends joining us for this celebration. We all know that many people along the way have helped these graduates get to where they are today, providing help in many ways, both big and small, seen and unseen. And we shouldn't forget your professors and so many others who are part of the UW community that have been dedicated to your success. They've all had a stake in your reaching this big day, and we thank them. But today is really about our new graduates, you, the class of 2018. I should say December of 2018. That was my class in December. You've done it. You're earning a prestigious degree from a world-class university. You are beginning in the next stage of your life. Each of you has your own personal story of your journey to this moment. Some of you came by the traditional route, right out of high school and on to college. For others, the path might have been a few more detours and perhaps more responsibilities. Mine was such a route. So today, I'm going to single out one of our graduates, and I hope she forgives me. You saw Joanne Brink carrying the flag of the School of Nursing during the opening processional. Joanne is earning her bachelor's degree in nursing today after 20 years of hard work. Yes. She squeezed in classes wherever she could, usually one per semester, while working full-time and raising a young daughter. Many of her classes were at night or on Saturdays. Sometimes she would work at her job all night, grab an hour of sleep in her car before class, and then go to her class. That is the power of education. It inspires us to achieve what we sometimes think is not possible. Today we celebrate that power, and I want to personally congratulate Joanne for the grit and the perseverance she represents in all of our graduates. Once again, congratulations, Joanne. Joanne's story is, of course, unique and her own, but it also serves both as a reminder and a vision of what a UW education means. Like Joanne, you are now at the finish line, which, as it turns out, is really a starting gate. Truly a time to take stock and think about the future. Whatever your next move, make it count. Embrace your next stage of life and each succeeding stage with all the passion you can muster. Savor it, take advantage of it, give it all you've got. You'll never forget it, and you will regret investing anything less. You all know our world is changing quickly, as is higher education. But one thing that hasn't changed and that won't change, that's the importance of a quality institution where dedicated and creative faculty inspire students to want more, where innovative research expands possibilities, and where fellow students challenge and encourage their peers. Just think of how UW-Madison's magnificent faculty and staff help you to discover who you are. Consider how university research touches communities throughout our state. This wonderful university is a point of pride for every resident in the state of Wisconsin, as is the graduates. We are all part of the University of Wisconsin-Madison story. And now, to help make sure that story is told, a story spanning 170 years, one of the first land-grant universities, our UW story is one of innovation, inclusion, and most important, once again, the Wisconsin idea. Our university boundaries are the boundaries of the state, the nation, and now the world. I'm going to close by sharing with you one of my favorite quotes from American anthropologist Margaret Mead. She once said, "Never doubt a small group of thoughtful, committed citizens can change the world." Indeed, it's the only thing that ever really has. I believe that. And I believe that you, the UW class of 2018, has the potential, the passion, and the power to change our world. I'm excited to see what your future holds. Congratulations again to all the graduates and to the families that are here today, and on Wisconsin.
Thank you, Regent Milner, for your remarks. Our commencement speaker today has been described as arguably the greatest commissioner baseball has ever known. For those of us here in his home state, he's also known and beloved as the guy who brought baseball back to Milwaukee, his hometown. Alan H. Bud Selig founded the Milwaukee Brewers in 1970. As you may have heard, the team had a pretty good season this year. Bud became interim commissioner of Major League Baseball in 1992, and then the official commissioner 6 years later. He oversaw our national pastime for more than 22 years. His tenure has been called revolutionary and the most productive in the league's history. Today, he is the Commissioner Emeritus of Major League Baseball, the first person to hold that title. But we know him as much more than a legendary business owner and baseball commissioner. He is also one of us, a Badger. Commissioner Emeritus Selig is a 1956 history and political science graduate and one of our most supportive and loyal alumni. Even better, he's back on campus as a teacher. Mr. Selig is in his 7th consecutive semester of co-teaching a history class on the impact of baseball and sports on our society. That course is hard to get into because it's so popular. Can you imagine anyone better suited to teach that topic? Just a few days ago, he took all of his students on a behind-the-scenes tour of Miller Park, something he does every semester. Bud has now taught and mentored more than 100 students on our campus. He's even helped some of them secure jobs in sports media and Major League Baseball. For all these reasons and many more, it is with great pride and appreciation that I introduce our commencement speaker. Please join me in welcoming Commissioner Emeritus Bud Selig.
Thank you, Chancellor Blank, for this invitation to serve as the keynote speaker today, and to Provost Mangelsdorf for that kind introduction. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you for giving me the opportunity to share your graduation day with you today. It's an honor and a privilege, especially to be here in Madison, Wisconsin. I know this city and your beautiful campus very well. Besides being a fellow alumnus of this great university, as previously stated, I've had the opportunity to teach an advanced level course on baseball in American society since World War II. It's been a great experience. I have wonderful memories of my years here, many of which remain fresh and vivid to this day. It seems like just a short while ago, though it's hard for me to believe that more than 60 years have elapsed, that I sat in a setting similar to this one and gave much thought to what the future would hold for me. As you move on from this beautiful campus, you will discover that few days in your life are as important and as meaningful and symbolic as this one. This is a moment of significant change and passage, of passage into the future, and of passage into the realm of possibility and responsibility. In a more orderly world, this passage would be made with greater ease. Good jobs, bright future would be yours for the asking. But as you know, we're living in difficult and uncertain times, and even though the economic environment has improved over the past decade, there is still a divisiveness that exists today that is potentially threatening. Turn on any cable news program or go to social media, or like me, turn the pages of your local newspaper, and you're bombarded with information about the troubles that exist in our country around the world. But the education that you have received at this absolutely esteemed university has prepared you with the knowledge and character to confront these issues. I'm reminded of an ancient Chinese proverb that says, "May you live in interesting times." Although its origin and intent are unknown, it apparently was not meant as a goodwill salutation. I see it as a challenge, an opportunity, and a chance to make a difference. Good times or bad times, these are interesting times, and given the frenetic pace of the world in which we live today, interesting times will be with us always. Take advantage of these interesting times, because if you have keywords hope and faith, if you are smart, persistent, and aggressive, and if you have the courage and vision, if you are dedicated and willing to sacrifice, and if you are unafraid to form opinions and express acts on these opinions, you can make a difference and make this a better world. Looking back on my graduation day so many years ago, it seems as though the world then was much more tranquil. Those were the 50s, the days of Ike and Elvis. There were also days of the great Badger football led by the great All-American Alan Amici, who we all knew as the Horse. All was quiet in those days. All was orderly. All was peaceful. Many of my peers look back and believe we grew up in the greatest of times. But it was not as it seemed. If you look behind the curtain, there was great unrest. There were the days of the Cold War and McCarthyism, and the Korean War, and bomb shelter, and Sputnik. They were the days when grammar school kids were instructed to crawl beneath their desks when alarms sounded in preparation for a nuclear attack. Although our nation's economy was well into its post-World War II boom, the beneficiaries of that growing economy were men, not women. Even more disturbingly, those so-called tranquil 1950s were also the days of hatred and fear, as well as inequality and segregation of a large segment of America's population. The world was a far different place than it is today. Was it better? I'm not sure. Regardless of the political, economic, or social environment that currently exists, each of you, as you move on from university life, will face your own unique set of challenges. And it'll be up to you, each one of you, to meet those challenges with intelligence and acumen, and again, with hope and faith. You'll be faced with decisions, some mundane, some critical, that will result in actions that will set your course for the future. As the provost said in her introduction, I've lived a baseball life. And I believe, as my great friend and former commissioner, the late Bart Giamatti, often said, that baseball is a metaphor for life, where hope and faith are critical to the future, as is your willingness to make a difference. But in making a difference, you sometimes must go against the tide and take positions that are not necessarily popular. One important factor that I learned is not to be afraid of failure. Throughout my long career, I've taken comfort in the words of advice that Teddy Roosevelt once gave to his son in 1904. Teddy said, "It's not the critic who counts, not the man who points out how the strong man stumbled, or where the doer of deeds could have done them better. The credit belongs to the man who is actually in the arena, whose vision is marred by dust, sweat, and tears, who strives valiantly, who errs and comes up short again and again, who knows the great enthusiasm, the great devotion, and spends himself in a worthy cause, who at best knows that in the end, the triumph of high achievement, and who at the worst, if he fails, at least fails while doing so greatly, so that his place shall never be with those cold and timid souls who knew neither victory nor defeat." As an undergrad, I majored in history and political science, and actually figured one day I was going to come back here and be a professor of history, perhaps here in Madison. It took me till age 80 to get here, but I got here. That seemed to be a reasonable goal, but that wasn't my passion. My great love and passion was for the game of baseball, and I dreamed of a baseball life. But never in my wildest dreams, I must admit to you, did I ever think, under any circumstances, that I'd become baseball commissioner, let alone being elected to the National Baseball Hall of Fame. But I wondered at the time, if I were to live a baseball life, how was I to make that happen? I believe in dreams. I believe the individual should dream big dreams, limitless dreams, because only then can you reach your full potential. As Ralph Waldo Emerson once said, dare to live the life you have dreamed for yourself. Go forward, make your dreams come true. That's exactly what I did. I dared to live my dream. As a student, when I was here, I wasn't sure how or what exactly a baseball life was. But I knew if I were to live my dream, I had to be focused. I had to be resolute. I had to be ready and willing to take a chance should an opportunity ever present itself. Several years later, shockingly I may add, opportunity did present itself. The Milwaukee Braves left Milwaukee and moved to Atlanta in 1965. I was heartsick, but soon after I made it my mission to bring Major League Baseball back to Milwaukee, my hometown and state. I was only 30 years old, and the odds were stacked against me. People told me it was an impossible task. Nonetheless, I began knocking on the doors of Major League Baseball owners and showing up at their meetings. I would just not take no for an answer. I knew, and I can see it in their eyes when I approached, they were really sick and tired of seeing and hearing from me. That is true, they were. Yet I persisted, and just 8 days before the start of the 1970 season, a bankruptcy court awarded the Seattle franchise to Milwaukee and Wisconsin. And stunningly, my hometown and my home state was back in the major league. And I was fortunate to have fulfilled the dreams of my life. In the days afterwards, I often thought back to my days here in the library, particularly the library stacks, dreaming about a life in baseball. And unbelievably, it had actually happened to me. In my view, baseball is the greatest game ever invented. The game is unique, it's historic. For nearly a century and a half, it has proven to be the bridge that spans generations. It provides a window to escape from the tedium and difficulties of daily life. It gives people, here it is again, hope and faith, an opportunity to live vicariously through the boys of summer. It brings people together, but more importantly is the remarkable sociological influence it's had in our great country over the years. You saw it during the Brewers' run at the end of September and in October. President Franklin Delano Roosevelt understood the impact of our great game on the American public when he asked Commissioner Kennesaw Mountain Landis to continue the playing of games during World War II. President Roosevelt wrote, "I honestly feel it'd be best for the country to keep baseball going. There'll be fewer people unemployed. Everybody will work longer hours and harder than ever before." And that was nearly 77 years ago, January 15th, 1942. I've always said that baseball is a social institution, very important social responsibility. There are those who look upon public service and social responsibility as a duty. I see it as an opportunity and a privilege. Baseball is much more than what takes place on the field of play. It has great impact on the lives of our fans and our nation. The impact never was as great as it was on April 15th, 1947, the day the great Jackie Robinson stepped on a big league baseball field for the time and forever tore down the game's racial barrier. It was baseball's proudest and most important moment. It transcended sport and portrayed baseball as a metaphor for life. For the first time, baseball truly became the national pest. It arguably changed the course of this country's social history. It came before President Harry Truman integrated the United States Army, before the historic Brown versus Board of Education Supreme Court decision, before Rosa Parks took her rightful seat at the front of the bus, and more than a decade before the civil rights movement made an impact in our country. What I learned from Jackie's example and from my career in baseball is that one's social responsibility, organization's social responsibility, often relies on one's courage to do the right thing, even when those around you may tell you it's not the right thing to do or that it presents too many complex problems to overcome. Giving up on your goals, your ideals, or your dreams is the easy way out. But if you do, you won't succeed. Succeeding is hard, and sometimes it is hard, really hard, to do the right thing. My father used to tell me, buddy, if it were easy, everyone would be a success. It takes courage and vision to do the right thing. It takes courage and vision to be a success. It takes courage and vision to make a difference. I wish all of you the very best. I leave you with the following quote, one of my favorite quote of all, from the great Irish playwright, George Bernard Shaw. He said, "You see things and you say why, but I dream things that never were, and I say, why not?" I urge all of you to dream big dreams. I urge you to accept the challenge, be courageous, seek the vision to be the very best that you can be. Never give up your dreams. On my last day as a baseball commissioner in January of 2015, I spoke at the Baseball Writers in New York before a huge crowd and gave my speech, and then ended it with a thought that frankly just came to me. I said, "This is the story of a little boy's dreams that came true. If it happened to me, it can happen to you." Congratulations. It has been a privilege for me to be here with you today, and I wish all of you the very best. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Bud. That was great. At this time, we're going to confer our doctoral and professional degree candidates, and I call upon William Karpis, Dean of the Graduate School.
Candidates for the degrees Doctor of Philosophy, Doctor of Musical Arts, and Master of Fine Arts will please rise. Chancellor Blank.
Dean Karpis.
These scholars have devoted significant time to graduate study and research. In addition, they have defended theses or presented exhibitions that have been accepted by faculty committees as substantial contributions, signifying scholarly or professional achievement in their respective fields. They are presented for the highest academic recognition in their fields given by the university: the Doctor of Philosophy, Doctor of Musical Arts, or Master of Fine Arts.
On the recommendations of the faculty of the Graduate School, and under the authority granted by the Board of Regents of the University of Wisconsin System, you will receive the degree Doctor of Philosophy, Doctor of Musical Arts, or Master of Fine Arts. In testimony thereof, you will receive your diplomas. Please be seated. I now call upon Robert Golden, Dean of the School of Medicine and Public Health.
Candidates for the degrees Doctor of Medicine, Doctor of Physical Therapy, Master of Genetic Counselor Studies, Master of Physician Assistant Studies, and Master of Public Health will please rise. Chancellor Blank.
Dean Golden.
These scholars have successfully completed the requirements of the courses of study in medicine, physical therapy, medical genetics, physician assistant studies, or public health. Upon the recommendation of the faculty of the School of Medicine and Public Health, I present these candidates for degrees.
On the recommendation of the faculty of the School of Medicine and Public Health, and under the authority granted by the University of Wisconsin System Board of Regents, I confer on you the degree Doctor of Medicine, Doctor of Physical Therapy, Master of Genetic Counselor Studies, Master of Physician Assistant Studies, or Master of Public Health. In recognition thereof, you will receive your diplomas. Please be seated. I now call upon Margaret Raymond, Dean of the Law School.
Candidates for the degrees Juris Doctor, Master of Laws, and Master of Laws legal institutions will please rise. Chancellor Blank.
Dean Raymond.
These scholars have successfully completed the requirements of the courses in law. Upon the recommendation of the faculty of the law school, I present these candidates for degrees.
Upon the recommendation of the faculty of the law school and under the authority granted by the Board of Regents of the University of Wisconsin System, you will receive the degree Juris Doctor, Master of Laws, or Master of Laws legal institutions. In testimony thereof, you will receive your diplomas. Congratulations. The marshals will instruct the candidates to come to the podium and receive their degrees.
School of Medicine and Public Health, Callie Warrow, Claire Lieback, Hannah Hayes, Rebecca Green, Doctor of Philosophy, Doctor of Musical Arts, and Master of Fine Arts, Jonathan Magana, Daehan Kang, Paradi Thamapiachi, Christopher Dressler, Julia Ruck, Lauren Goodspeed, Kwangyi Zhu, Peng Wang, Rujiu Zhao, Marcos Navarro Gonzalez, Tristan Marr, Visham Apadu, Kayla Sargent, Edward Leonards Jr., Julianne Horner-Gerard, Lang Zhu, Ryan Norval, Dominic Pielmeyer, Daniel Jung, Virginia Carlton, Clarence Lee Moore III, Francisco Moya, Michael Egan, Anthony Sesnick, Faye Swin, Emily Hickey, Emily Ellerding, Jennifer Michelle Morgan, Kelsey Iyinger, Francisco Puerto Udena, Zachary Hansen, Erin Naraki, Sunny Chan, Luke Loken, Maria Jose Fuensalida, Samuel Fahey, Trevor Knapp, Zachary Griffith, Ho Young Jung, Lei Pham, Yui Win, Tien Vo, Catherine Elizabeth Bonascio, Nathaniel E. Green, Conrad Turley, Alyssa Love, Gokul Govindaraju, Garrett Wheeler, Ahmed El Nabwe, Dina Benoit Joseph, Alisa Zwier, Reina Udabo, Guangfei Zhu, Hongjian Li, Catherine Dornfeld Tissenbaum, Vera Pfeiffer, Julie Ann Patterson, Sid Kiblawi, Yi Chen Lee, Lauren Primuth, Lindsay Setzel, Haley Ann Brown, Adele Ardalan, Abigail Woodridge, David Mummy, Aaron McDonald, Jacob McDonald, Carl M. Lemke Oliver Sack, Hari Prasad Podol, Carlton Frost, George Corley, Yan Zhai, Trom Lee, Gianna Hernandez, Yilin Liu, Camilo Diaz Pino, Young Sun Ju, Christy Lin, Patrick Shreesize, Law School, Christoph Jonas Bender, Ryan Michaels, Hao Chen Sun, Mingyu Chen, Tianhui Zhang, Pacharabun Hathakitsako, Kavindra Kichasiak, Yue Wu, Ard Sakantula, Landing Dahaba, Kyle Jones, Emily Nelson, Sarah Hall, Ariel Rosewall, Tiffany Famery, Molly Rose Schomer, Ashley Marie Hacker, Claire Marie Kathleen Edwards, Emily Sarah Zimmel, Michelle Etienne, Bethsaida Nieves, Jessica Petrus, Stephanie Trinkle, Jiaqui Lee, Yifi Yu, Divari Franson, Chunyan Shen, Menglu Yu, Yuwen Jiang, Jue Ning Zhang,
Congratulations to all of our doctor and professional school students. I again call upon William Karpis, Dean of the Graduate School, who will present the candidates for master's degrees.
Candidates for the following master's degrees will please rise. Master of Accountancy, Master of Arts, Master of Business Administration, Master of Engineering, Master of International Public Affairs, Master of Music, Master of French Studies, Master of Public Affairs, Master of Science, Master of Social Work. Chancellor Blank.
Dean Karpis.
On the recommendation of the graduate faculty, I present these candidates for the master's degree in their respective fields.
On the recommendation of the faculty of the graduate school and under the authority granted by the Board of Regents of the University of Wisconsin System, you will be admitted to the appropriate master's degrees, and in testimony thereof, you will receive your diploma. Candidates, please be seated while the marshals instruct you to proceed to the platform.
Rebecca Sundaleski, Maxwell Brennan, Cassandra Wright, Brian Faring, Daria Gok, Austin Schultz, Sarah Brodnick, Eric Raseski, Sagar Paliwal, Tim Glennon, Erin Green, Kathleen Draper, Sarah Elizabeth Frank, Colleen Kerwin, Rachel Nachman, Samantha Jane Kapusco, Mary Fang, Jaiming Wang, Damian Almares, Lu Liu, Anu Rajan, Batul Kachwala, Shin Chen, Lindsay Joe Park, Christian Schmidt, Yao Lu, Albert Kilger, Nathaniel Spencis, Ari Davidson, Nicholas Pasquarello, Ying Ji Chuang, Jordan Keenel, Alyssa Stavinsky, Mina Syakmuar, Jennifer Ann McGee, Casey Milroy, Jody Newell, Hei Win Zhang, Tianshu Li, Jia Hong Joffrey Liao, Min Lee, Evan Giacchino, Dominique Ricks, Kathleen Kennan, William Traber, Adria D. Schrader, Lachelle Marie Greenlee, Sarah Elizabeth Sprangers, Emily Allegra Powers, Joshua York, Cameron Smith, Patrick Dunn, Omar Habib, U-Ting Lan, Rebecca Mandich, Yifu Zhong, Hongru Du, Jennifer Tranberg, Molly Moritz, Yang Li, Kaylee Lebrano, Randy Sinkolar, Stephanie Helena Williams, Nicholas Damiano, Dylan Weber, Zachary DeGroot, Abigail Purfirst, Madeline Goodland, Jijian Tao, Jihao Li, Jiyuan He, Huan Liang, Biashuan Lane, Jose A. Maziriegos, Xiaoyan Jin, Yu Chen Wang, Jinyue Yuan, Rahul Jayan, Elizabeth Reel, Surya Pratap Singh Tranwar, Pradyat Prakash, Ingrid Colgren, Taylor Levin, Ryan Hickey, Dan Arato, Kristen McNeil, Clara Hoff, Armand Kulkarni, Zhongya Wang, Thomas Richards, Terry Hodge Jr., Yu Shu, Eric Finley, Daniel Christensen, Christina Zepeda Almasan, Kelly Yetlin Miller, Brandon Jonan, Zachary Burmeister, Hebron Katramatrutip, Kelly Dunham, Alexander Swenson, Yan Zhao, Xingyue Zhong, Tianyu Wang, Guanjia Go, Quan Winsko,
It is my great pleasure to introduce Professor Michael Leckrone and members of the university's School of Music Band who will play our musical selection this morning, Songs to Thee, Wisconsin, arranged by Professor Leckrone. Thank you, Professor Leckrone and band members, for your special contribution to our program today. And now I'm going to say something that isn't in my script, but I don't know how many of you know that this is Professor Leckrone's last year as our band director, and he has served as band director at University of Wisconsin-Madison for 50 years. This is not his last commencement, however. He'll still be with us in May. So it is my pleasure to introduce Jaime Dawson. Jaime has quite a fan club. Is graduating today with a bachelor's degree in Afro-American Studies and Psychology. Jaime is a terrific example of what we like to call the Wisconsin experience, someone who seized opportunities inside and outside of the classroom to grow and contribute. You can see it in all the many roles she inhabits. As a research assistant, as a House Fellow, as a spoken word artist, as an activist. Born and raised in Tampa, Florida, Jaime came to us through our innovative first wave hip hop and urban art scholarship program. During her time on campus, she has distinguished herself with her creative output and artistic performances. Outside of campus, she has embraced opportunities to grow, studying abroad and interning in Brazil, New York, the Netherlands, and Denmark. In 2017, she was inducted into the Phi Beta Kappa Honor Society, a rare honor for a sophomore. As you are about to hear, Jaime believes in the power of individuality and the critical role of mentors and the importance of owning your talents and using them to benefit others. It's an inspiring message that I hope all of you will take to heart. Please join me in welcoming our student speaker, Jaime Dawson.
Thank you, Provost Mangelsdorf, for that kind introduction. Thank you to Chancellor Blank and the senior class officers for selecting me for this opportunity. Good morning. Today, I would like to share the simple things that we've perhaps forgotten throughout our academic journeys. What it means to recognize our limitless possibilities, to embrace our individual talents in the faces of complexity, and the ways in which we are now responsible for giving back. It took me some time to learn that there were limitless possibilities within me. There were years in my life when my mother and I had to live with extended family. I would cradle onto a twin-sized bed and share it with my cousin and her son. I reflected on moments like those when I got to travel to Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, in 2016 with the UW Global Gateway Program. In Brazil, I got to stare into blue-gray expanses of ocean, climb mountaintops, and touch the sands of Ipanema. At the end of the day, I would rush back to the hotel and upload my adventures to Snapchat. It was there where my cousin left me a message. Let the world tell it. You're not supposed to be here. It's incredible how much you've been able to achieve. And that is why I say to everyone here today that this is why we write our own narratives. Dreams are possibilities, opportunities sitting within us, waiting to be actualized. Realize there are constant possibilities within you, ready to flow as if they were a grand waterfall. We have successfully embarked on the path of knowledge, but we must remember that the path to knowledge is distinct from the path to truth. And the path to truth is our true prerogative. To lead with compassion is our goal. In our pursuit of higher education, we've proven that we are capable of evaluating complexities. Complexities like knowing while controversial, topics such as religion and politics belonged in our classrooms, because they affect our everyday lives and teach us to listen to one another. Complexities. Taking ownership of your individual talents is a way to interact with life's complexities. As a student at UW-Madison, I organized protests that gave underrepresented students a voice through art. As a first wave scholar, I was able to perform and workshop with internationally recognized scholars and artists. Complexities are what give life a dance that represent the ebb and the flow. As lifelong learners, I encourage everyone here to stand tall in the face of pushback. Don't be afraid of the pull. Your uniqueness is an asset. Embrace your story, your voice, and your creativity. Lastly, it's time for us to recognize that we too can give back, to support others as those have supported us. When my mother and I had no place else to go, my great uncle transformed his garage into a living space. I called him Papa. He was a carpenter whose dreams went farther than the tool shed. And perhaps I was one of those last dreams to make it out of the tool shed. Papa took me to church. Papa taught me to sing. Papa couldn't dance, no. But he did give me all of the spirit that I needed in order to put a little two-step in my bounce. He was part of the inspiration for me to be who I am today. And unfortunately, Papa passed away because of prostate cancer and has missed out on some of these greatest moments. Complexities are what make life a dance. There are those who lack hope, those who are unable to look forward, or those who can't see that dreams are possibilities. For those who sometimes go to sleep in the dark, who are insecure and question their own potential, or for those who just seek the comfort of a brighter day, I ask myself, how can I move barriers so that they too can view the streams? Because we are rushing water like stampedes, redefining riverbanks and our purposes in order to change the world around us. We are capable. So I ask all of you today, what possibilities are you ready to actualize? What talents will you embrace? Who in your life will you be there for? Allow these questions to sit with you on this momentous day. Let them frame the direction of your newfound life outside of the walls of this institution. For this is what it truly means to have been a Badger, to be a Badger, to not just have studied, but to have completed an entire journey at the University of Wisconsin-Madison. Thank you.
Thank you, Jaime, for those wonderful remarks. Graduates, in a couple of moments, you'll move your tassel and become part of an illustrious group called the UW Alumni. But right now, I'd like you to turn your attention to the video screens where your Wisconsin Alumni Association shares a glimpse of the Badger community that awaits you.
The University of Wisconsin has been a place of learning and discovery, a place where you've made friends and memories that will last a lifetime. For some of you, today is bittersweet. You will be saying farewell to Madison and a community of people who become an important part of your life. The good news is, you're joining a worldwide Badger community that stretches from Minneapolis to Malaysia, from LA to Austria, from Sweden to the Swiss Alps. Wherever you go, the Wisconsin Alumni Association will be there to connect you to this family. And remember, no matter how far you travel or how long you've been away, Madison will always be your home. We hope you come back and visit often, because as a member of the Badger family, you will always have a seat at our table.
At this point in our program, I'm very pleased to acknowledge those bachelor's degree candidates who have distinguished themselves scholastically by ranking in the top 20% of their school or college, or by participating in the honors program. These graduates are attired with honors stoles, solid cardinal red or white with red chevrons. I would like these distinguished graduates to stand and ask everyone to join me in recognizing their achievements.
Please be seated. At this time, we will confer the bachelor's degrees. I call upon Catherine Vanden Bosch, Dean of the College of Agriculture and Life Sciences.
Candidates for bachelor's degrees in the College of Agricultural and Life Sciences will please rise. Chancellor Blank.
Dean Vanden Bosch.
On the recommendation of the faculty of the College of Agricultural and Life Sciences, I present these candidates for the following degrees: Bachelor of Science, Agricultural Business Management, Bachelor of Science, Biological Systems Engineering, Bachelor of Science, Dietetics, Bachelor of Science, Landscape Architecture. Candidates will please remain standing.
I now call upon Barry Gerhardt, Interim Dean of the School of Business.
Candidates for bachelor's degree in the School of Business will please rise. Chancellor Blank.
Dean Gerhardt.
On recommendation of the faculty of the School of Business, I present these candidates for the degree of Bachelor of Business Administration. Candidates will please remain standing.
I now call upon Diana Hess, Dean of the School of Education.
Candidates for bachelor's degrees in the School of Education, please rise. Chancellor Blank.
Dean Hess.
On the recommendation of the faculty of the School of Education, I present these candidates for the following degrees: Bachelor of Fine Arts, Bachelor of Science Art, Bachelor of Science Art Education, Bachelor of Science Athletic Training, Bachelor of Science Dance, Bachelor of Science Education, Bachelor of Science Education Studies, Bachelor of Science Kinesiology, Bachelor of Science Physical Education, Bachelor of Science Rehabilitation Psychology, Bachelor of Science Theater and Drama. Candidates will please remain standing.
I now call upon Ian Robertson, Dean of the College of Engineering.
Candidates for bachelor's degrees in the College of Engineering will please rise. Chancellor Blank.
Dean Robertson.
On the recommendation of the faculty of the College of Engineering, I present these candidates for the following degrees: Bachelor of Naval Science, Bachelor of Science Biomedical Engineering, Bachelor of Science Chemical Engineering, Bachelor of Science Civil Engineering, Bachelor of Science Computer Engineering, Bachelor of Science Electrical Engineering, Bachelor of Science Engineering Mechanics, Bachelor of Science Engineering Physics, Bachelor of Science Geological Engineering, Bachelor of Science Industrial Engineering, Bachelor of Science Material Science and Engineering, Bachelor of Science Mechanical Engineering, Bachelor of Science Nuclear Engineering. Candidates will please remain standing.
I now call upon Soyeon Shim, Dean of the School of Human Ecology.
Candidates for bachelor's degrees in the School of Human Ecology will please rise. Gotcha.
Dean
Chancellor
Shim.
Blank.
Dean Shim.
On the recommendation of the faculty of the School of Human Ecology, I present these candidates for the following degrees: Bachelor of Science, Community and Nonprofit Leadership, Bachelor of Science, Human Development and Family Studies, Bachelor of Science, Human Ecology, Bachelor of Science, Interior Architecture, Bachelor of Science, Personal Finance, Bachelor of Science, Retailing and Consumer Behavior, Bachelor of Science, Textiles and Fashion Design. Candidates will please remain standing.
I now call upon Carl Scholes, Dean of the College of Letters and Science.
Candidates for bachelor's degrees in the College of Letters and Science will please rise. Chancellor Blank.
Dean Scholes.
On the recommendation of the faculty of the College of Letters and Science, I present these candidates for the following degrees: Bachelor of Arts, Bachelor of Arts Journalism, Bachelors of Landscape Architecture, Bachelor of Music, Bachelor of Science, Bachelor of Science Applied Mathematics, Engineering, and Physics, Bachelor of Science Journalism, and Bachelor of Social Work. Candidates, please remain standing.
I now call upon Linda Scott, Dean of the School of Nursing.
Candidates for the bachelor's degree in the School of Nursing will please rise. Chancellor Blank. Chancellor Blank.
Dean Scott.
On the recommendation of the faculty of the School of Nursing, I present these candidates for the degree Bachelor of Science Nursing. Candidates will please remain standing.
On the recommendation of the faculty and under the authority granted by the University of Wisconsin System Board of Regents, you will be admitted to the degree appropriate to the courses you have completed. In testimony thereof, you will receive your diplomas. Candidates will please be seated until the marshals instruct you to the platform. Congratulations.
College of Engineering. Chance Cork. Floyd Harmon Jr. Joel Foch. Jarrett George. Alex Shazda. Brendan Hankey. Benjamin Shellhorn. Blake Herbert. Augusto Milivote. Owen Zweihlhofer. Nicholas Zemke. Logan Nelson. Feng Zhong. Dawei Xu. Yulan Cheng. Kevin Andrew Hodkovic. Derek Sachs. Min Zhao. Junrong Yi. Emily Haynes, Rachel Fuller, Jack Chemnitz, Jennifer John, Austin Klisch, Elizabeth Bruzas, Rachel DeGardner, Timothy Lee, Joseph Krako, Jinglin Yang, Michael Greer, Tommy Yee, Mi Hyung Song, Danny Un, Brady Weigel, Heather Casterline, Jessica Thomas, Nicholas Schiller, Samuel Weiland, Vincent Bilstito, Blake Vanderkar, Bryce Buckley, Megan Smith, Thomas Magnuson, Seth Winger, Jeremy Lambert, Charles Hartwell, Michael Lamb, Samantha LeBlanc, Kayla Baus, Grant Rigg, Bryce Kramer, Paul Lipka, Shannon Sullivan, Matthew Gargulak, Kyle Quillen, Aaron Canton, Kenneth Scott Beasley Lawson, Lawrence Sullivan, Brian Schlaff, Jonah Lurquin, Matthew O'Boyle, Jonathan Watley, Peter Horning, Samuel Reinarts, Atul Anand, Mika Darusha, Dylan Johnson, Alex Schultz, Brian Hinai, Luke Anderson, Andrew Winans, Jackson Rock, Connor Acker, Connor Collies, Thomas Gurin, Damian Oktar, Kyle Struck, Ben Maruska, Tyler Whitmore, Eric Memel, Tiong Chad, Sierra Messenger, Sarah Burns, Eric Beckman, Nicholas Blomstrand, Andrew Fugate, Tyler Wombeck, Emma Herrig, Mara Navit, Leslie Ann Frenchek, Andrew Paul Nezek, Juithi Ram Das, Hyo-Hyun Lee, Kang-Hoon Cho, Nolan Jones, Evan Uphoff, Douglas Dresser, Thomas Petrovic, Adam Tholen, Thaddeus Dietrich, Zachary Evans, Andrew Wilk, Anthony Lopermeyer, Ryan Petsky, Mitchell Danner, Alyssa Beasley, Garrett Alf, TJ Alf, Dylan Slatterly, Hannah Cook, Inray Cho, Dongwan Shin, Joshua Lenoble, Hannah Hamilton, Navyej Singh, Hulo Vang, Alexander Bellick, James Doherty, Marcus Brown, Benjamin Hewitt, Austin Wooldridge, Justin Lang, Tyler Buddy, Douglas Nev, Noah Mayu, Jinan Al-Jazari, Jacob Free, Aaron McCrary, Oscar Londono, Chelsea Metz, Jordan Rowan, Leanne Coleman, Ethan Ehrlich, Aaron Lubin, Stephen Ritter, Cole Burbeck, Rachel Ringquest, Cole Anderson, Hannah Barton, Adam Clouter, Jacob G. Redvik,
Christopher Park, Kevin Kilgis, Jacob Ames, Josh Milligan, David Zeugner, Noah Pulvermacher, Kyle Powers, Min Pham, Caleb Schwanke, Yifeng Hare, Hongyi Wang, Catherine Ball, Lori McKenna, Matthew Fleigel, Elliot Peipenberg, Amber Peipenberg, Mohan Salish Krishna Yarlagarada, James J. Wilson, Marshall Stock, Brian Watson, Oliver Altman, Yandi Ma, Michael McCreef, Austin Laudenbach, David Heinen, Lucas Keister, Jacob Bierenkott, Matthew Muntz, Ritvind Sukantatana, Raul Samir Mehta, Aaron Wabin-Askum, Zachary Gasik, Xiaoxing Zhang, Edward Lee, Salman Tabatabi, Benjamin Morecki, Billin Loy, Joseph Ashley, Matt Vang, Taoan Cheong, Benjamin Pollock, Arthur Malali Bolavinda Oliveria, Abdulaziz Al-Bakri, Lauren Allen, Brooke Martin, Robin Ritchie, Claire Varus, Inigo Ayala, Connor Welch, Jonathan Loving, Ellie Stanek, Samuel Daniker, Robert Shins, Grant Tesdall, Julianne Testa, Rachel Herman, Benjamin Mind, James Knuth, Anders Haraldson, Tristan Halleck, Daniel Joseph Schiltz, Kevin Shu, John Robert Edward Lee V, Allison Hilgerer, Matthew Greichel, Samuel Tonia, Mayak Katanal, Mary Goljoli, Hassan Ed, Fatso Rinsalem, Talai Alquintani, Ethan Danielson, Luke Wagnus, Everett Gorup, Colin Magnan, Vincent Shad, Alan Dow, Du Nunje Prula Duca, Maximilian Skal V, Joshua Shelley, Caleb Michaels, William Brower, Bryce Willoughby, Ryan Carolan, Jesse Pukula, Jonathan Cooper Orler, Zoe Winowski, Timothy Vallon, Stetan Anderson, Sam Silverberg, Madeline Hedinger, Haley Olson, Nicole Sanis, Tira Myers, Pranuti Monkar, Kelly Watson, John Leszewski, Michael Pauletti, Ryan Akimama, Leslie Dahmen, Brandon Ochia, Jacob Casey, College of Agricultural and Life Sciences, Deanna Zernicki, Connor Redbacher, Charles Osella, Mitchell Berg, Emma Meyer, Catherine Zettel, Aaron Delabrew, Mariah Marwitz, Jonah Vanderweide, Leanne Rothstein, Nicholas Breck, Qiangtiang Liang, Robert Rossmiller, Nicholas Termini, Parker Williams, Kelsey Grambo, Kendra Mertz, Benjamin Dover, Rebecca Rice, Gabrielle Curtis, Stefan Martinez, Matthew Beecraft, Harlan Smouse, Jordan Englebert, Leah Deschler, Emily Dakin, Logan Kabisky, Jake Kaplan, Alexander Daman, Joel Gore, Ryan Ingebrigtsen, Diva Nelson, Erica Rose Palmer, Adam Salsrud, Brianne Lesota, Allison Lobu, Claudia Andrea Pineda, Sydney Katsutsanek, Gregory Faring, Daniel Meritic, Rachel Hollingworth, Bhavna Patti, Jennifer St. Pierre, Brooke Edersky, Gabby Shirley, Maxan Sprecher, Anjiren Kolegin, Minsu Park, Chao Ka, Matthew Eggerbeen, Catherine Ruffalo, Mariah Watts, Terrence Edwards, Christopher Orr, Charlie Lawrence, Ashlyn Timmerman, Abigail Collins, Amy Lin, Justine Chai-Ni Cao, Lishun Ying, Ganyun Cheng, Defei Xiu, Peilin Wang, Emily Rose Brown, Colleen L. Heinlein, Sam Rajafumi, Heather McNulty, Tan Hatso, Tatiana Dennis, Tess Kennedy, William Lane, Bryson Madden, Jack Meixelsberger, Emily Simmons, Caitlin Yira, Taylor Fletcher, Margot Leschniner, Ryan Drake, Deleg Deborah Arneson, Matthew Robbers, Xingwing Zhu, Sarah Vega, Anna Novak, Mara Zinin, Ziying Yip, Kuan Yin Chan, Haley Contreras, Hainding Song, Drew Manchester, Andrew Meng, Lisa Ann Bueller, Rebecca Schmidt, Danny Fellion, Riley Klarkowski, Brendan Provo, Samuel Skaberg, Gus Quaid, Amelia Coffey, Faith Ann Anderson, Mitch Strom, Franklin Yao, McKenna Rupers, Akashaya Lakshmananan, Rebecca Tang, Jack Rickelman, Yulin Du, Yan Ragsha Bayar Khan, Jason Jiang, Mikhail Schmidt, Sun Up in the Sky, Sunwoo Bay, Jonathan Glenn Rakub, Qingyan Long, Angela Carvajal, Keith Frankie, Yodi Lee, Isaac Zimmerman, Noah Kern, Aaron Brenner, Derek May, Justin Meinert, Megan Finke, Mackenzie Sweely, Josephine Ward, Andrew Van Ginkel, Bethany Kapanke, Duncan Favell, Mark Altimari, Mitchell Pauser, James Gannon, Grant Bullew, Nicole Potter, Jacob Bogost, Keegan Jacobus, Dashiell McElfresh, Jerome McKibben III, Juan Juarez, Nicola Atlia, Bailey Schulz, Samir Khan, Rahim Omar, Marilyn Naresta, Emma Burkekalo, Michael O'Donnell, Matthew Caulfield, Kyle Krelwitz, Akif Rahman, Huyu Wu, Zihang Zhang. College of Letters and Science, Jaime Dawson, Conlis Bass, Noah Ash, Sean Westveer, Alex Klinzing, Xuanxing Yuan, Zhongling Liu, Ravinder Singh, Fong Kirst, Ellen Light, Ziqian Chen, Taiwan Deal, Austin Alexander, Natalie Bartelt, Paige Bartelt, Lucas Lauer, Paul Herman, Alec Scheel, Nell Simpson, Logan Godfrey, Cara Bell, Allison Streckenbach, Sophia Margareta Garayanopoulos, Sean Maloney Jr., Jessica Wu, Alejandra Torres Diaz, Jinwoo Oh, Wei Tiang Chen, Chen Lu Li, Eric Pertutnen, Maritza Rossi Laotic, Shenrong Hu, Shihao Wan, Zifeng Shi, Yu Bai, Rishui Shlin, Dawson Non, Liana Schwallenberg, Cameron Clark, Ninghuan Ma, Mustafa Abdelhamid, Melit Jinoli, Connor Kashiliak, Chance Satford, Haley File, Allie Rose Olson, Thomas Shannon, Yuhan Soon, Tiarik Mack, Jared Maxberry, So-Eun Lee, DK Zhang, Brian Gossink, Kyler Daniel Norquist, Xianyu Shen, Runzi Yang, Ang Lee, Allison Baldwin, Sydney Fink, Sam Prosser, Andrew Stewart, Xiangyu Zheng, Tone Yu, Jing-An Lai, Alexandra Runestrand, Anajali Beck, Allison Yu, Brett Dietzick, Mani Zhu, Thomas Jeremiah Mershevsky, Mark Zignego, James Plowitz, Ali Bakadar, John Rottier, Maria Lena Sunstedt, Cassandra Bocherry, Matthew Wolf, How Dunn, Rachel Hackler, Han Xiao, Joshua Cather, Brennan Molly, Chris Little, Laura Lettenberger, Claudia Randerson, Mary Gannon, Choran Yang, Julia Winkle, Carissa Carls, Brett Wilson, Noah Mack, Jacob Bauer, Alex Mall, Grace Subat, Savion Castro, Alec Gleason, Hugo Ganzi Park, Juwan Kim, Shaymon Graves, Daniel Kawanowski, John Robert Marks II, Stephanie Olivares, Kun King, Bianca Castellano, Daiki Yangagawa, Tomoki Kato, Merritt Juzinski, Kaylin Stanek, Vince Pascal, Ryan Sui, Martin Ratasukli, Haitan Yuan, Zizang Yin, Stephanie Schmidt, Shania Okamdosh, Rachel Griffin, Brett Michael Harvestein, Connor Wright, Max Galarsi, Joshua Kruger, Alexander Koenig, Konstantinos Papakostis, Tara Say, Amber Johnson, Samuel Klein, Erica Engen, Grant Hussey, Jasmine Wang, Ruiying Wu, Shiyu Yan, Rebecca Wilson, Elena Hosley, David Nelson, Ryan Newalt, David Becker, Shu Wei, Sung Ho Yon, Jihuan Huang, Nicholas Erb, Sean Coville, Shivani Patel, Nihal Vuraganti, Colin McFadden, Nam Fan, Adam Imran, Scott Lai, Keenan Thompson, Ren Cruz, Jehung Kim, Junseok Park, Dongkyu Kim, Jacob Guyen, Skylar Whitty, Anna Catherine Kerwin, Abdallah Abjaid, Tyler Georgia, Sydney Dinghartig, Jordan Hendrickson, Li Ma, Yudong Lee, Dongjun Kim, Jiwoo Kim, Madeline Bennett, Claire Connor, Olivia Prager, Annie Borse, John Mitchell Kirsch, Aberdeen Leary, Olivia Giddings, Daniel Arendt, Yasmin Shamilalu, Caitlin Maxa, Sydney Katsuko Prowl, Michaela Conrad, Yuhan Tang, Zihyuan Lu, Justice Gaines Purdy, Alex Sharp, Austin Stewart, Lucille Anzia, John Schreier, Ryan Kesters, Jolie Scudder, Xingyu Wu, Brianna Bushman, Christopher Van Dyke, Sarah Jacobson, Kyle Howe, Ben Brown, James Geeson, Alexandria Wills, Jadine Lee, Catherine May Kopecki, Lydia Glaman, Evan Bondock, Xander Neville, Sydney McGinnis, Ryan Connolly, Cheyenne Stibbs, Colton Schellinger, Hunter Reed, Joshua McGrath, Sarah Saparo, Jack Gellerman, Jatao Terrence Yee, Junior Quintero, Nicholas Ryan, Callie Sunborn, Maria Mako, Lillian Mann, Connor Fugelstead, Ethan Kenny, Alexander Bach, Logan Miller, Kayla Conklin, Emily Clody, Taylor Olson, Paige Wing, Brock Milkenny, Murish Duigana, Casey Wagbowl, Mitchell Port, Trace Thorpe, Jake Kulsolek, Alexander Yedrikak, Matthew Galvilison, Delaney Twing, David Young, Brendan Daly, Patrick Lone, Clayton Dyke, Travis Soltiz, Liam McLevy, Victor Wagers, Hunter Lynch, Haris Riza, Richard James Bertram III, James Leroy Plyler, Jenna Selesky, Mitchell Wagner, Megan Mullen, Dory Ross, Hannah Gillistrud, Emily Holzberg, Taylor Palmby, Nicholas Stegzel, Riley Gramza, Elizabeth Brown, Sarah Hometti, Rachel Anderson, Nathan Nimmer, Daniel Farber,
Helena Udenestub, Samantha Weiss, Paxton Payne, Isabel Gallagher, Emily Tickno, Abby Dalton, Nicole Otto Livingston, Margaret Parker, Benjamin Scudder, Josh Baumgartner, Sarah Waller, Olivia Mulford, Ian Searson, Matthew Knowles, Austin Thiele, Alec Martin, Hayden Nolenberger, Aaron Grody, Stanley Kamen, Lankeen Chen, Javier Francis, Stephen Rovick, Dana Maltby, Nina Anderson, Alexandra McNulty, Luke Anderson, Emily Kruger, Emma Claire Seyfried, Maxwell Etheridge, Nicholas Rourke, Grace Hyland, David Bashensky, Sydney Francis Weber, Olivia Burns, Jonathan Coleman, Maccabee Rodriguez Perifria, Amy Denekis, Aaron Armentusky, Ibitsam Had, Kevin Patel, Jacob Malwitz, Rezwana Karim, Daruva Ajit Nair, Jason Juno, Emily John Wees, Lauren Drapes, Aaron Marquardt, Nicholas Hogstead, Haley Primeth, Alessandra Catherine Galeo, Morgan Clazer, Courtney Nugent, Amanda Valley, Ariel Chapman, Ethan Kane, Caitlin Hubner, Caroline Arnold, Nicole Schmidt, Hannah Marcel Russell Sedgwick, Zach Madsen, Bailey Huser, Mitchell Dietz, Audrey Goldstein, Samuel Palmer, Andrew Michael Peterson, Jake Zieltnist, Anthony John Nelson, Kevin McNamara, Grace Pelisek, Megan Bernards, Brooke Williams, Joseph Adamson, Dong Hoon Im, Jinwoo Lee, Colton Jackson, Robert Drachenberg, Nick Larsh, Megan Sippy, Rex Barrett, Jeremy Casimiro, Esmeralda Maria Tovar, Kristen Johnson Salazar, Emily Ugeritz, Jessica Richards, Bryce Sprecher, Tobias Leering, Daisy Patterson, Caitlin Collier, Joshua Silla, Paul Davis, Cody Heineman, Sean Larson, Yin Ying Hu, Eliza Godfrey, Taylor Stanek, Audrey Stoyer, Emma Hudson, Madeline Schur, Kelsey Sullivan, Jessica Tang, Maggie Markson, Sophia Stosland, Yibo Liu, Jasmine Huang, Bonki Ojini, McKenna Hyde, Kelly Welsh, Rachel Severson, Lindsay Gall, Amina Mayamori, Dominica Wardell, Chase Wember, Natalie Ghaffari Niku, Michael Miranda, Andrew Rosen, Preston Yar, Brian David Rogers, Runju Lai, Ty Wills, Chelsea Schonert, Shaylin Sorensen, Cassius Nukoveko, Arpita Wahal, Junyi Zhang, Tracy Wu, Min Jung Shin, Dylan Guodes, Andrew Kaiser, Declan Schlichting, Elizabeth Wisden, Madison Ryan, Yu Zhou, Matthew Mayerly, Jonathan Wagner, Courtney Halverson, Deborah O'Brien, Lauren Simmonsmeyer, Madeline West, Elizabeth Rader, Jackson Bay, Jeffrey Baker, Megan Rain, Delina Yates, Alice Freeman, Bug Yuen Ji, Natasha Effendi, Jonathan Selvin, Wei Jie, Anthony Schaefer, Josh Chenoweth, Ryan Devine, Timothy Bentolila, Luke Piper, Justin Barham, Ryan Mooney, Kyle Hellman, Luke Henricks, Neve Prabhakaran, Josh Veith, Raichi Yin, Anhat Singh, Jing Hao, Matthew Engels, School of Human Ecology, Jane Ganther, Julia Magan, Monica Cullen, Emily Hinderocker, Michaela Elliott, Kelsey Komanowski, Daryl Wang, Iman Madison, Brooke Julie Parfrey, Emily O'Neill, Owen Jardana, Mary Alessandrini, Emily Peterson, Micah Capoy, Cheyenne Vandenberg, Kirsten Brooks, Kelsey Jenkins, Angela Morrow, Hannah Alice Noss, Sylvie Rising, Kayla Pavella, David Manage, Jennifer Slavensky, Sophie Elsmo, Ash Krantz, Melody Bless, Michael Dieter, Tristan Sebastian Amberger, Daniel Hughes, Evan Miller, Sean Kelly, Anthony Biasiota, Ebony Nicole Emery McClendon, Pyongyang Lee, Sitang Lee, Molly Bernard, Mary Schanenberger, Lauren Manier, Megan Maloney, Shannon Flannery, Madison Osted, Jessica Kasoris, Min Sun Yim, Su Yong Young, Lisha Chen, Ji Yuan Jiang, Haley Showalter, Patrick Arney, Mitchell Meyer, Alec Ingold. School of Business, Samuel Holland, Allie Dykeman, John Povolny, Griffin Johnson, Mitchell Stewart, Rhonda Tan, Ryan Diedrich, Casey Krewald, Brooke Comas, Rachel Ross, Carrie Ann Pauley, Delaney Pepper, Cody Bendixson, David Walsh, Logan Stile, Sarah Kaiser, Zachary Leland, Nurul Adrina Burhadin, William Viviano, Fletcher Schoon, Dane Molland, Amanda Caston, Jay Lim, Samantha Arentz, Graciela Yaramillo, Kevin Starr, Ashlyn King, Cody Ova, Benjamin Schlavich, Julie Rounds, Kristen Niles, Colin Duffy, Tyler Benson, Isaac Hart, Casey Daniels, Nate Kloss, Dylan Abbott, Ziyin Liu, Ray Key Rong, Stephanie Albert, Aaron Martin, Bradley Wienholtz, Benjamin Starfelt, Janet Cruz Olivares, Alaya Nuval Othman, Aisha Nuval Othman, Zhao Ying Lin, Betsy Werner, David Emma, Logan Johnson, Tyler Brudney, Sikyong Kim, Dong-hee Son, Vladimir Alexandrovich Pak, School of Education, Miranda Dallas, Nicole Catherine Oliveira, Louisa Schweigel, Brady Pierik, Lauren Shahan, Jacob Hurlbutt, Benjamin Kirkowski, Brianna Pfluger, Kennedy Blahnik, Megan Pilecki, Hannah Yee, Amanda Pierce, Lauren Crombie, Haiji Lim, Marissa Larson, William Hammond, Alex Berge, Williamson Kraft, Brittany Calvano, Bailey Anderson, Rebecca Pfluger, Holly Harms, Abigail Gurnick, Shelby Kahn, Nick Hewley, Alex Shuchuk, Garrett Miner, Michael Idom, Harmeek Singh, Bradley Meyer, Gabrielle Falcone, Drew Greenhall, Jennifer Whitehill, Makina Teggy, Robert Brookins, Malem So, Ference Rogers Jr., Sabria Borum, Andrew Dossman, Jeffrey Butler, John Chofredy, Joseph Franz, Dominic Skipina, Hannah Kane, Alexandra Breda, Cassidy Hartzog, Ethan Hughes, Chloe McKay, Carly Wilson, Aaron Clifton, Rebecca Zerby, Ashley Smith, Lisbeth Smith, Gabby Toshwer, Allison Zeman, Becca Schleiter, Eric Bergson, Janetta Hill, School of Nursing, Nicole Chicker, Hannah Yauk, Joanne K. Brink,
One more round of applause for all of our graduates. Congratulations and best wishes to every graduate. Thank you to all the family and friends who are here today. To conclude our celebration, please join Professor Leckrone and the University School of Music Band in singing our alma mater, Varsity.
the rush. I don't see people running. It's her, she, that's He probably went, they're old.